Hello, my loves, and welcome back to a new little piece of the podcast that I just felt really drawn to share with you. So, basically, this part of the podcast are going to be like little tidbits that are just going to be sometimes thrown in during the week. So they're going to be like little pieces, little snippets of maybe a meditation, some information. Maybe it's a little thought I had. Maybe it's something to get you thinking. Like all these little bits that I think are really, really important for us as humans to like talk about or to navigate or mention. So I'm going to call them the spicy bits. And I'm recording the first one now. This was already recorded and then somehow it got deleted, so we're just not going to talk about that right now. But this week, what I want to talk about is my methodology for life and how I've effectively been working through it over the last 2 years, but ultimately it's coming to fruition for this next stage of whatever it is I'm to bring in through the business. And what you might realize is I'm not here about cookie cutter plans. I fall into the trap of them. I find them a way of being perfectionist. Can really stress you out, can overwhelm you. It's another way of people telling you how you should live. Whereas the idea with this method effectively is to help you like reclaim as a woman your vitality, your sensuality, and your strengths through all aspects of being a woman, and to really show who you are authentically, like to peel back the layers to become who you were ultimately put on this earth to be. And I don't believe that that means that we all have to leave our 9 to 5 jobs, that we all can't do X, Y, and Z. Like, I truly want this very empowered version for women, for people who are in the workplace and actually enjoy their jobs, for women who are like standing at the top of fucking boardrooms, owning the shit out of themselves, to the mum who's also running after her kids, whether she does or does not have a 9 to 5 job to go with it. Like, I really think these are the women who have been forgotten about. So this embodied woman method will actually apply to any woman who wishes to use it. And our core kind of framework is to reset, regulate, and radiate. And they're the 3 steps. Now they can all go in different like levels. They might not go all in, they might not all be sequential, but that's effectively how we will look at it. And it's all around different parts of like if you're burnt out, nervous system, cycle awareness, strength training, movement, gut and hormone and metabolic support. Like we'll be looking at your embodiment, intuitive alignment, and then also bringing in pleasure, sensuality, sexuality, and all the other bits and pieces, like what you truly desire. Bringing in a slower living, a less stressed version of yourself, and also expanding yourself so you can hold more. So I really think that this is important as women, and it truly lights me up when I get to talk about this, because this new methodology is going to be so beautiful and so special. So how do I bring this to fruition? Well, what most people might not know is we have 4 bodies. So we have the physical body, which you know here. We have the mental body, which is our head. We have our emotional body. And then we have our spiritual body. And I've effectively adapted these into 4 pillars of the Embodied Woman Method. So the first pillar is our rooted body. So that will be all around like physical health and all the different pieces of that, whether it's, nourishment and nutrition, lymphatic health, movement, strength. Are you living in a lot of pain? Are you having womb issues? Are we having, painful periods? Like how to work on yourself holistically without having to feel like you're checking off a checklist every week and doing X, Y, and Z all of the time. Then we have sensual living, which is living in alignment with who we are as women. So it's not my version of a feminine woman or a feminine essence. It's your version. What does that look like for you? How does she move through the world? And we do that through coming back to our womb space, our cycles, our sexuality and our sensuality, and just owning who we are as women. Because when we have gone so deep into maybe like a independent boss woman energy, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Incredible fucking archetype, got me where I am. Sometimes we forget to come out of like that more masculine side of ourselves and come back into like regulating ourselves and helping work through different parts of our lives and understand what's going on so that we can move through with more ease and actually be very mindful of ourselves. And that doesn't mean that you, the week before your period or off your period, you do nothing. Like, I work 9 to 5, I study, I do a lot more things, but it's just about aligning ourselves and knowing how to work with that. We then have the radiant heart, which is going to be the very much around our mental, and that's going to be like emotions, boundaries, again, nervous system safety. As you can see, it comes in through a lot, but that radiant heart piece is really important, because when we deal with what's going on inside and we work through those bits and pieces, that's when we start to find ourselves very rooted within ourselves. And then lastly, we have wild spirit. So that's like the spiritual connection. So it's going to be like intuition, soul connection, any rituals we want to do, energetics. Like, can we, maybe you've done all of the other steps and they don't all go one by one, by the way. We do them as you need to, as I need to even. Dip in and out of them, like go through different spirals of each level every time. But the energetic component to a lot of things can be an issue, and people don't realize it, like particularly around fertility issues, around owning what we desire, around finding the man that we want to be with, around speaking up for ourselves. Like, there's a lot of energetic work that can be done around that too, and that can be incredibly healing for women. So that's my little spicy bit for today. And the reason I just wanted to say it was because I realised my intro talks about my Embodied Woman Method and all of these things, and you're probably like, what the fuck? But yeah, I wanted to share it. I hope you're all having a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.